folks, welcome back to the channel, Pop Retro 1 at Twitter and Instagram, facebook.com/PopRetro1. And check it out on social media, give me a follow, and feel free to say hi over there at whatever channels you are on. Also, patreon.com/PopRetro if you want to check that out. So I thought I would get back on the haul train again here, since I had one more stack left over from the last month that I have not shared yet. So I figured, since I was on a little bit of a roll getting back into shooting these videos after I had my foot injury that put me out for about 10 days, that I thought this would be a good time to talk about some of the stuff that I haven't talked about yet. So I have 13 items, lucky 13, that I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to go through them quickly so I can keep the time of this video down. So these are not reviews. This is not a review of these Blu-rays and DVDs. Just showing you what I got, and you know, maybe you'll see something that you don't have that you're interested in, that you did not know existed, or that's out there. So, all right, we'll start off with, from Universal, the Marx Brothers Silver Screen Collection. Now, I picked this up on a sale deal. A lot of good sales that happened during November and December, which is when I stock up on a lot of stuff. So this is a nice little box set from Universal. There's a look at the back. Now, this has 5 movies: The Coconuts, Animal Crackers, Monkey Business, Horse Feathers, and Duck Soup. I think Duck Soup's probably the most well-known or sought after, probably critically speaking wise. So I think these were these all from the 30s? I don't know, maybe The Coconuts was from the late 20s. But take a quick look. Here, we'll open it up. There's a little booklet inside. And there's the discs, and it does look like the first 4 movies are on 2 discs, and Duck Soup gets its own disc by itself. So if you're a fan of classic films, old films, or the Marx Brothers, or whatever, this is worth picking up. I think I got this for, I think it was like $14.99. I don't know what the regular price is. But these are all newly restored, and also has some bonus features. So there you have it. See, already I spent too much time on one title, but there are 5 movies in there. So here we go. All right, up next, another classic. This is an upgrade for me from the DVD collection, and this is from Paramount Presents line, and this is To Catch a Thief, the Hitchcock classic. And I'm excited to watch this. I haven't watched it for a while, and I've been trying to go through some old Hitchcock. I've been reading some Hitchcock books that I haven't read before, as well as rereading some that I read back in my younger days. And so to have To Catch a Thief on high-def Blu-ray is really exciting for me. And let's see. I think this probably came with a slipcover initially, because this is one of those nice Paramount Presents releases, but I bought this one used. And so I picked it up really cheap, and I'm fine without getting the slip, as I got to keep things in budget. There's a look at the disc. It's the old Paramount blue disc, and some reversible artwork on these Paramount Presents titles. And there you can see it. A little bit of glare there out the computer monitor in front of me, but what year was To Catch a Thief? 1955. 1955. Cary Grant, Grace Kelly. I've been reading The Making of Psycho, a book that came out in 1990, and I read it in the early 90s when I was in high school. I've been rereading it, and it kind of sparked my interest in Hitchcock again. I mean, you never really lose interest, but you know, it's been a while since, you know, I was reading up on a lot of Hitchcock stuff, because there's so much out there, you know, and there's just, I mean, I'm going to die before I read everything I want to read and see everything I want to see, but that's part of the fun of life, I guess. All right, up next, we go from Hitchcock to, well, Mike Judge. with the new release, Beavis and Butthead Do America. This was just released, so I picked it up. I pre-ordered it, and this is also from Paramount. In fact, most of these are Paramount releases that I have in this stack. So let's take a look at the inside. No reversible art on that. You got the blue disc, and this was, when was this, 96? Oh, yep, 1996. There's a look at the back. Did you watch Beavis and Butthead on MTV back in the day? I was never like a big fan of it, but it was just always on. So, you turn on MTV to watch some music videos, and sometimes you'd get the Beavis and Butthead show would be on. And so you wound up knowing who they were and watched a lot of those episodes. At least that's how I watched it. Up next from the family pile, this is 4 movies, 4 TV specials, I believe. The Snoopy Collection. All right, look at the back. And this includes A Boy Named Charlie Brown, Snoopy Come Home, Race for Your Life, Charlie Brown, and Bon Voyage, Charlie Brown, and Don't Come Back. And these were done, what years were these? 1969, 72, 77, and 1980. So a nice range. And this, I believe I picked up this one used too, because this one can be pretty expensive new. And I found a really good price for it used, and I had this on my radar for quite a while. And so happy to finally pick it up. And of course, it is Paramount release, and it's just the blue discs. Looks like... 4 discs, so each feature-length special has its own disc, and there are some special features on the first 2. So, looking forward to watching that. That'll be a good one for when I have the little nieces and nephews over. Keep it in the living room, the family viewing shelf out there in the living room, next to the vinyl albums. All right. Up next, we go from family viewing to not-so-family viewing with Michael Douglas and Glenn Close in Fatal Attraction. 1987, this Paramount Blu-ray replaces my old DVD copy, and I finally found one. I think this might have been $4.99 or $5.99 on sale, just one of these November, Black Friday, going into December sales that I decided to pull the trigger on, and so I can finally get rid of my DVD copy. Look at the back. Got that big sticker right there. And nothing too exciting on the inside. You got the Eco Case arrows and the gray Paramount releasing disc color on the face. Paramount released this one back in 2009. So this is a fairly old Blu-ray release, 2009. So nonetheless, it should look better than the old DVD. So I'm still cool with DVDs, but if I find a Blu-ray upgrade, even of an old studio title, especially one that I like and it's cheap, I'll go ahead and upgrade. I don't do it all the time. Up next, we've got from 1976, Marathon Man. This is another one that was priced really, really well on sale during close to around Black Friday, and I thought I'd pick it up. Dustin Hoffman, Laurence Olivier, Roy Scheider, William Devane. A lot of my old favorites on there. There's a look at the back. Another Eco and blue disc from Paramount Pictures releasing. Whatever. Paramount Home Entertainment. Up next is a movie from the early 2000s, from 2004. It is Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow. This was just a fun throwback type of movie, and I haven't seen this since I think it came out in 2004. So I didn't have this in my collection on disc ever before. Was it Gwyneth Paltrow, Jude Law, Angelina Jolie, and again, another Paramount release. There's the back. Get a little closer in there so you can see it. I don't remember a lot of this, though. It's gonna be a fun one to rewatch. One, two, three, four, five, 6 items left to go. Okay, one of my favorite movies because I was a high school baseball player and I was a college baseball player. So baseball was my favorite sport growing up and I was really into it. And when I was in junior high in 8th grade, Major League came out. And this is one of those movies that I've seen more than a lot of other movies. And yet this actually upgrades my old VHS copy. I never got this on DVD, and I'm finally picking up the Blu-ray. Gosh. And I think the reason why is because, I mean, we end up watching it at my parents' on holidays and on visits a lot of times. And it's just, I think my parents have it saved on their DVR. So it was always easy to just pull up. And so I never had a real reason to have it on Blu-ray disc or have it on disc. And I think I watched that VHS last maybe 10 years ago. And I still have my VHS collection of films mostly that never got DVD or a Blu-ray release. And so that's usually why I keep VHSs around. But now I can finally ditch that one thanks to getting this. I'd like to get the sequels, the 2 sequels to Major League 2. Major League 2 and Major League Back to the Minors, I think was the 3rd one. There's a look at the inside. And so Tom Berenger, Charlie Sheen, Corbin Burnson, those were the main players in Major League. And of course, Bob Uecker, very funny, as the play-by-play announcer. Okay, up next, a brand new release, romantic rom-com, fantasy, whatever you want to call it, type of story. And this is Ghost from the Paramount Presents line. And I never had Ghost in my collection. So, I mean, I watched Ghost back. This was like 1990. I was a freshman in high school. And the chicks really dug this movie. And I think I watched it with like my aunt and like with a girlfriend maybe around that time. And this just seemed like a nice release, and it is actually a pretty cool release. And this is the slipcover. I'll take it out. There's that. But the slipcover is like a gatefold. I mean, it opens up on the front here, and showing like basically the movie poster right there. And that I thought was really cool. And I didn't see this this is the first time I remember seeing this on these Paramount Presents, and I don't know if I've just missed it or if this is one of the rare ones that actually does that. There's a look at the back of the slip. It's the same as the back of the case. And there's the front, same as the front of the slip. There's the disc, and take a quick look at this reversible art for Ghost. Demi Moore, Patrick Swayze, Whoopi Goldberg. Pottery. Was it one of the Naked Gun movies that parodied the pottery scene? I don't remember which one it was. Probably the second one, because it would have been after 1990, I think. Maybe it's the 3rd one, I can't remember. And because I picked up Ghost and I was thinking of movies from 1990, from that year that I didn't have in my collection, another romantic comedy that was really popular that I didn't have in my collection, I decided to pick up and found a used copy of Pretty Woman. The one that put Julia Roberts really on the map, or made her a superstar, I should say. And Richard Gere. This is Paramount. I think this is not, I think this is something else. It's Touchstone. So this is an old Touchstone release. Take a look at the disc art. So I finally have Ghost and Pretty Woman. I think I'll sit down and watch them both as a double feature. Might be a good throwback 1990 night. Do you remember those movies? Again, I was a freshman in high school, and the ladies really loved these films. And I think that's how I initially saw them was, I'd pick out my action adventure movies, and we'd both pick out a horror movie, and she would pick out, something like this. All right. Now, a couple of TV on DVD releases that I picked up. The first one is Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. This is season 4. Piece of the packaging on the bottom there, the shrink wrap, I should say. Season 4, Volume 2, 3-disc set from 20th Century Fox. This finally completes my complete series. I got the complete series now. This was the only one that I didn't have. And I feel like I've been buying these for over 10 years trying to complete it and just kind of watching them as I go. I got the Season 4 Part 1 probably a year and a half, 2 years ago. And it kind of does it. It's like the first 2 seasons had like cardboard box sets. This one's plastic. And then there's a couple of these half-season sets that were in the regular plastic. And then I think my Season 4 Part 1 is actually like a Canadian release because it's got like the French title along with the English title on the top. So on the shelf, they kind of look disparate. One of those ones that, I think there's probably a complete series release, but I just decided to keep going with the individual releases because I had already had most of them. And for budget purposes, I figured I'd just finish it off this way. So, and this was pretty cheap when I picked it up. Look at the back. And, sorry, see, I get caught up looking at the special features and what's on them. One of the sucky parts is that these were the old double-sided discs. So, I've had really good luck with the double-sided discs over the years, but I know there are people that, have had worse luck, and I've had a few that didn't play well on a few sets. Throughout the years. It does have some inside art with the episodes listed on which disc. So at any rate, finally finished that off. And another TV on DVD set. Finally, I've never had any of this, and it's still in the shrink wrap. I haven't unwrapped it yet. We've got Murder, She Wrote, the complete series. Now, in the 80s, when I was a kid, my favorite shows were Knight Rider, Dukes of Hazzard, The A-Team, Simon and Simon, Magnum P.I., Airwolf, all the action-adventure shows. And this was always on in like number 1 in the ratings or close to it for many, many years. And so I want to say when I got a little older, probably in junior high, and I started watching Murder, She Wrote in reruns, and I was like, wow, this is actually really good. The mysteries were really good. You're trying to guess who is the murderer, and it's all revealed at the end, and it really kind of made it really fun. And so this is just something that I never had in my collection, and I thought about buying individual releases when they started coming out 15 years ago or so, and never did. So I figured now was the time to pull the trigger and purchase the complete series. So I won't unbox this here, but I'll maybe do a video on it later on. As you can see, they have combined season 1 through 6 and season 7 through 12. And I believe the TV movies are also in this. There's some information on the bottom that they include. So, Angela Lansbury. This ran from like 1984 until 1991, I think. Very popular. My grandparents loved it. My mom hates Angela Lansbury. She just was annoyed by her. I always thought that was funny. She couldn't stand Angela Lansbury, and she also couldn't stand David Hasselhoff. And so for whatever reason, those people just rubbed my mom the wrong way. She just didn't like them. And why don't you like them, Mom? And she was like, I just don't like them. They just annoy me. So there you go. Murder, She Wrote. And one more item, just because I did a Vinegar Syndrome releasing video the other day of my haul from Black Friday. And I forgot to include one item for whatever reason, and that was the Rudy Ray Moore box. And it really is just a box. Vinegar Syndrome released 4 Rudy Ray Moore movies early on. So, I mean, probably over 5 years ago. And they are Dolomite, The Human Tornado, Petey Wheatstraw, and Disco Godfather. And because they had released 4 of these, and they're all related because they're Rudy Ray Moore films, Vinegar Syndrome fans and collectors have said for years, hey, why don't you give us a box? Just sell a box so we can make it a box set. And so I have all the releases, all 4 releases, and I just figured, you know what? I'm going to pick this up just so it's brand new. They just came out with this. So it was $15 for the box. And I'm not big on slip covers and boxes. I mean, I don't need them when I purchased back Vinegar Syndrome titles. I don't need to get a slip cover for it or anything like that. But for this, I thought this is a nice way to keep all 4 of those movies with that theme of the same writer-director, together. Keep them together. It looks good on the shelf, and now it looks like an official box set. I've not dug them out and put them in here yet, but I'm going to take it off. The stars. So yeah, pretty simple deal. You got the front art. You got the back art. Actually, I don't know which one's the front. Oh, yeah, that's the front, and that's the back. And the side lists the films. And there you have it. So very high quality, as Vinegar Syndrome is wont to do. So there you have it. Another haul video. And, stuff keeps coming in as the holidays proceed. And so I'll just keep, I kind of just let the stack pile up until it hits about 10 items. And that's when I shoot one of these haul videos to let you know what I got. And I'll do that again when the time comes. So this is coming out a couple days before Christmas. So if I don't see you until Christmas, make sure you have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year thereafter. And I will see you again soon with a brand new video. Hopefully really, really soon. Hopefully before Christmas. Hopefully before New Year's. So either way, I'll see you then.